AEW Revolution could have as many as 2 whole black people come away with wins on pay-per-view. Believe it or not, that would actually be the most ever.
Oh shit! It's Pro Wrestling Bits!
AEW Revolution airs tonight on pay-per-view, and a loaded card features 2 rising black stars in position to win high-profile matches. That's a rarity to this point in AEW, where white wrestlers have dominated on pay-per-view, winning 77% of every pay-per-view match in AEW history, including 81% of singles wins. Headed into Revolution, black wrestlers have won just 4% of all pay-per-view matches in AEW history, including 3% of singles matches. Of all the instances where black talent earned some type of win on pay-per-view, all 6 of them, 4 of them involved Scorpio Sky. Shout out to him. In his 3-year history, AEW has never had more than 1 black winner on pay-per-view, something that might happen if Jade Cargill and Keith Lee win their matches tonight. Isaiah Cassidy could even add a third of a win as part of a 3-man team. Though these numbers remain pathetic, in AEW's white-dominated promotion, this really is kind of a revolution for us. The fact that AEW, a predetermined sport, is 3 years old and can barely put together 3 black winners on pay-per-view is hilarious to me. The most popular defense of AEW is, say it with me, give it time, an often well-intended defense that really doesn't mean shit. Whenever I hear people say, give it time, and that AEW has only been in business for 3 years, it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King.
I have a dream.
No. What is this, public education? This isn't Black History Month at a white school. This is the blackest YouTube channel in wrestling, goddammit. I need mixtape Martin.
First, I must confess that over the past few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizens' counselor or the Ku Klux Klaner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action, who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom.
Ooh-wee! Run that back, run that shit back!
Who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom.
I'm tired of the bottom of Twitter setting a timetable for a black wrestler's freedom. Having to wait your turn when you know damn well a promoter can make you a top star with the power of a pencil really is a definition of being a second-class citizen. They even have a second-class citizens championship called the FTW title. Give it time is such a prominent excuse, even Booker T gave it credence during our interview in an otherwise thoughtful response.
In AEW, you got the, Jade Cargills, you got the, the Will Hobbs of the world, you got the Scorpio Skies. That's very few in comparison to the roster, you know what I mean? So you got to give those guys a little bit of time to actually get where WWE has, and you got to look at the time WWE took to actually get to where it is right now as well.
I get why so many people fall for the myth of give it time, but the problem is not all time is created equally. There's a difference between spending time or investing time and wasting time. Give it time works with Jungle Boy. He's already been anointed as a pillar. He didn't need to be ready to be a pillar. He's still very green in a lot of areas, but AEW, a scripted wrestling company, has decided he's worth their time, and they've rewarded him by spending that time to make sure every aspect of his character, from theme music to ring gear to origin story, stands out above his peers. AEW is spending time to develop Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, MJF, Hook. They're wasting time with Will Hobbs, Sean Dean, and the vast majority of its black roster, whom I know nothing about, and they can't be bothered to even tell me. Let me ask you something. In what world is 3 years not enough time to develop a television character? All it took was 1 season of Euphoria to make Zendaya into the biggest star on TV. AEW's been in business for 3 years in a modern day society. They don't gotta worry about Jim Crow or segregation, even though they kinda have a segregated title. 3 years is more than enough time. You know how I know? The average length of an AEW contract is 3 years. So a lot of black talent literally doesn't have the time that people want me to give them. AEW themselves decided that 3 years is the perfect length of time to evaluate talent as to whether or not they should be re-signed. Are you telling me that when a quote-unquote green black wrestler signs a contract with AEW, they should be content to just wait out a whole contract cycle before they can even speak on TV? Why even sign them in the first place? You're not giving it time, you're wasting it. And the next thing you know, time's up and it's time to go. Gotta love a good carny trick. Last time I checked, WWE crowned 3 black world champions in the span of 2 years. Carmelo Hayes was a relative unknown, but he became a top star in NXT in 4 months because that regime believed in him. I get it, AEW is light years away from that. It's only 2022, but that has nothing to do with professional wrestling and everything to do with preference of wrestling. AEW simply does not feel that any of its black talent is worthy enough to be named a pillar, let alone become a character. Slowly but surely, we seem to be headed in the right direction with AEW Revolution. I know Jade Cargill is about to beat the brakes off Ty Conti, and while my heart says Keith Lee wins the Face of the Revolution ladder match, my head says Wardlow will win to further his top storyline with MJF. Wardlow is still limited in the ring, but AEW sees potential in him, so they do everything they can to hide his limitations while developing him as a character every week on TV. Must be nice. As for the rest of this card, they'll have plenty of time to shine on what should be a great pay-per-view, but they're only getting 10 seconds of my time on this channel. Team Darby, Jon Moxley over Bryan Danielson, Jurassic Express over Young Bucks and Red Dragon, Britt Baker over Thunder Rosa, Eddie Kingston over Chris Jericho, CM Punk over MJF, and Paige over Adam Cole. Excuse me.